I want to be that guy who walks away happy and quickly. Hey, it's not a wonderful day, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do my best anyway. A couple days ago, a while back, I don't know, I put out a video talking about, I had a great day. Everything kind of fell together. You know, everything just went right, and it went right a lot more than I even talked about in the video. It was just like, you know, it's just one of those moments where everything just sinks and it went right. So this is the other side of that coin. This is when things go wrong, and how I resolved it, how I moved forward, how I dropped it, and how I focused and didn't obsess and ruin an extended period of time. So there's three things I really hate, or not hate. There's three things I noticed always get under my skin. When somebody lies to me, when somebody's ambiguous, when they're like, oh, it's great. Well, why is it great? Right? I like specificity, or specific, I like specificity, I think is the right word. Remember, I got an F in English, all through school. And then, I don't like, the other thing I notice that really drives that is when you have a expectation and it just totally is wrong in a negative way. So you're expecting, the funniest one, this guy, and we went to Sizzler. I'm dating myself here, but, a bunch of us guys in high school went to Sizzler. It was this friend of mine's idea. So we all go to Sizzler, and then he goes and gets a big plate of strawberries, right? And puts for the whole table, right? Gets a whole big plate of strawberries from the buffet, and then puts a big scoop of whipped cream in the middle. Well, it wasn't whipped cream, it was sour cream. So, the first guy dips, and it's not bad taste, but when you're expecting whipped cream and you get the sour cream, it's like, oh, right? So, that failed expectation. So what happened this trip is I had a booking at another hotel, and I saw this hotel I'd been to before. Had a really, from the balcony or from the window, it looked like a really great pool complex. And I just had a really great experience with pools down in Thailand. So I was like, you know what? Let me change my booking and spend 2 days there and hang out at the pool all day, right? Seems reasonable. So I get here, and I start getting a little curious, because I noticed a couple little keywords here and there, and I'm like, So I get here, I check in, and check-in goes sideways, like to the nth degree. It was just, and one of the really frustrating things is it's set up to be that way. It's set up to be a horrible check-in. And it's just the way the hotel's built. It's the way it's managed. It's the way it's run. And there's a lot of answers. And that's what really frustrates me, is there's a lot of options to solve all these problems. And they're just not considered a problem because people that work here don't experience it from a tourist point of view. And this is, a problem I've had in the past. Most notably was at the, the Planet Hollywood in Cancun, the all-inclusive. The manager there was trying to gaslight me for like 2 hours, and finally, or an hour and a half. And finally, I asked him, when was the last time you traveled? Oh, it's been 12 years. Okay, so you have no idea what it's like on this side of the coin. If you don't know what it's like on the other side of the desk, you have no credence to say, no, objective ability to say, this is the way it is everywhere. And that's what was happening last night, is I was being told, well, this is the way it is everywhere. And I don't like being gaslit. But when I got here, I was told I can go to the lounge tomorrow night. And I'm like, it's only, 6 o'clock. Is the lounge closed? I don't know. So I went to the lounge anyway. And, that was, it is what it is, right? But while I'm at the lounge, I'm talking to a gentleman, and now to use the indoor pool, you have to wear a rubber on your head. I'm not putting a rubber on my head to go swimming in the pool. All it's going to do is pull my hair and go back and forth like this and stick to my hair and pull my hair. I'm not putting a rubber on my head to go to the pool. And there's nowhere in any documentation anywhere that says you have to wear a rubber on your head to go swim in the pool. And I looked, I checked, I asked. And I don't understand it. Like, I didn't like wearing a mask. I'd put a mask on for a short time to go in the store because it wasn't that big of a deal. 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. But it was a stupid idea to begin with. I knew it was a stupid idea to begin with. Anybody with a brain knew it was a stupid idea. That, wearing masks for prolonged periods of time, all it does is make you sick. And, so anyway. But I'm not putting a rubber on my head to go swimming in the pool. And if I came here with the intention to go swimming, it's kind of defeats the purpose, right? Time wasted. More importantly than the money, it's the day is wasted. I'd spent an hour and a half on a train to get here, which was fine. I enjoy train rides, but I wouldn't have come an hour and a half over here if I didn't want to go swimming. And now, so I wasted my whole day, right? Planned on going swimming, and what I end up doing, sitting in a hotel room making a stupid video, right? So the thing, the gentleman sitting next to me, really nice gentleman, Eric, he told me that the pool is only open until 4. It's like, what? The pool is open until 4 p.m., closes at 4. And that makes no sense to me. Like, I don't get it. It's July, June, last days of June, and the pool is open till 4. Why? Why? And then it doesn't open till 10. So I can't go swimming until 10. I have to check out at noon. And the pool doesn't open until 4, but you can't get in after 3. So the point I made to the manager, I spoke to an assistant manager or whatever, I asked her specifically, okay, if I come here for one day, how long can I use the pool? If I come for one day to go and hang out at the pool, how long can I use the pool? Because they put on their Instagram, pool's open, pool's open, pool's open. So if I come here for one day, I can't check in before 3, can't enter the pool after 3, I check out at noon, can't enter the pool before 10, so you maybe get an hour, I'm adding in there like time to change, pack, and check out. So maybe an hour and a half at best. If you come here for the pool, wouldn't you feel a little slighted? Wouldn't you feel a little, nah? And there's a dozen more issues I had with this whole stay, right? So what I spoke to the manager about last night was I had a specific ask. It's like, look, I booked 2 nights. I paid for 2 nights. I want to check out tomorrow and be refunded that. Because most times they won't do that, right? They'll want a refund fee or something. And, so my whole point of this video, and 10 minutes in, is I was really upset. Like, I can't go swim in the indoor pool because of the rule change. I'm not going to wear rubber on my head to go swimming. And I can't really use the outdoor pool. And then, like, I'm solely negating the fact that, they buried the outdoor pool fee. So when you go to the website to book the hotel, there's nothing about the fee. If you have to go into the actual specific hotel's website and then go down to find the picture, and it says pool, it looks like just more pictures of pool, and you have to click on that, and then it tells you there's a fee. But if you go to policies on the hotel on the specific location's website, you go to policies, there's nothing in policies. There's no red flag that says, the pool costs, an extra whatever. And that you have to make reservations. So, I mean, the whole thing just kind of upset me. But I sit down with her and I said, look, here's my ask. I want to check out tomorrow and just be charged one day. I want that, second day refunded. And I brought up this pool issue as one example. I said, look, this is one example of why I'm not happy here. I'm not having a good time. I'd like to just go, but it's, 8 o'clock at night and I don't really want to leave right now. So, is this acceptable? And this is where, customer service training is very important, because that was my ask, right? Here's my problem. Here's the tip of the iceberg, right? That's my ask. And they keep wanting to dig in and dig in and dig in and argue with me and, converse with me. And, well, what else? What else? What else? And it's like, look, all you're going to do is make me mad. All you're going to do is make me revisit all these things and ruminate. Rumination is like, the process to go from annoyance to frustration to anger, right? That's how you climb that ladder. That's how you motivate people to be angry, is you make them ruminate the story over and over and over. And it's one thing if you're going to debunk it or problem solve and they want to help you problem solve, but I don't want to problem solve. I'm not here to fix a hotel. It's not my job to fix a hotel, right? They're going to do what they're going to do, and they're not going to coming to me asking. So if you're not asking for my help, then you really don't want my help. If you wanted my help, you would say, hey, come spend the day with us, and if I can do it because I'm bored, I might, but I don't like being negative. So, which is funny because a lot of these people on my YouTube channel, a lot of the subscribers subscribed to me because I was a negative Nelly about one guy. But that was my ask. My ask was simple. I want to check out tomorrow. I had to keep asking that question repeatedly. And they kept wanting to talk about other issues. And it's like, look, I can go through 20 other issues. I just had breakfast. I have a lot of issues with the way they're doing breakfast. For the money you're paying for this hotel, I don't mean to be rude, but I expect better. And it frustrates me, like the young gentleman I was speaking to last night. He was helping with translation because I was talking too fast. I said to him, and I meant it honestly, and this is how I feel. It frustrates me when you have really good, great employees and they're being set up to be in a harder situation than they need to be. And to me, I can see, such an easier solution. I may be wrong, I may be right. That's neither here nor there. But, my perception is, the management, the staff, the whatever, is putting these really good employees in a bad situation. Another example I'll give on that is there's another hotel I was at recently, and, they served great food, right? Breakfast was great, really excellent food, but the plates are dirty. Like literally, I picked up a plate and the bottom of it was wet, which is okay, but it was sticky. It wasn't wet clean, it was wet sticky. I put it down, I cleaned my hands, I went to another stack, I grabbed a plate, and it wasn't as sticky, but it was still sticky. And so here you have these chefs, these cooks, these attendants cleaning the tables, seating you. All these people are working really hard, doing really good work. But that one link in the chain there is misrepresenting everybody. Another hotel I was at, my shoes stick to the floor when you go into the food area. That's kind of nasty, right? And then here's this guy, he makes this great egg Benedict with salmon and guacamole. It's really fabulous. But, as you're walking through there and my shoes are sticking to the floor, I'm like, am I going to get sick today? Where's my Imodium, right? So that's kind of how I felt here is, there's a lot of great employees here, but and even the people I was talking to, they're fabulous. But the perception I have is the people who should know better don't know better. The people who should, like that gentleman down at Planet Hollywood in Cancun, um, you know, he should have known better. He should have known what I was talking about. And he didn't, simply because he never stayed in a room. So if you don't eat at a restaurant, can you tell me how good the food is? Can you tell me how good the service is? Can you tell me how clean the plates are? Um, and what a disservice you're doing to people that work for you if you're not, setting them up in the best situation possible. And then you take, like myself, I had to sit there for, I don't know, almost an hour, and all I wanted was that answer. And so I got to the point where I was like, look, I don't want to talk about all this other stuff because it's just going to make me mad, right? It's just going to upset me. All I want to know is this acceptable? I have a problem. I came up with a solution I thought was reasonable. And, what does it take for me to get an answer here? And that in and of itself kind of grew on me and started to frustrate me because, like, give me a yes or no. I can pile on all day, but I don't want to, right? I can pile on all day, but I don't want to. I mean, I came here to relax, go for a swim, hang out by the pool, try and get a little bit of sun through the clouds, relax, and then take a shower, take a nap, go to bed that night, right? I didn't want to, she was telling me, well, tomorrow you can stay at the pool until 4. It's like, okay, but then I have to get on a train and go somewhere and then check in, and it's not a relaxing day, right? It's another travel day. It's not like a full day of just zeroing that clock, right? Just, whole day. There's something to it, and if you travel a lot, you'll know what I'm talking about. A whole day to just chill and do nothing. Get up, get some food, go to the pool, go take a nap, go to the pool, relax, get some food, go to bed, right? It's just when you get that whole 24-hour wind down, it's a really great thing. And, if you're not getting that in your life, I'd say plan it. And that's what I tried to do here. Didn't work out. And that happens, right? So that's what I was saying. This is the other side of the coin when things don't fall together. And so when I did, to make sure, today and the rest of the week aren't, gnawing at me, right? Came up with a solution I thought was reasonable, presented it, asked, and, they finally said, yes, no problem. But had I just sat there and piled on and piled on and piled on, which I could, I mean, I could walk around, and I'm not talking, white gloving stuff. I'm talking, glaring issues compared to other hotels, and she was trying to gaslight me for a second, and I got a little snippety with her, and I said, look, let's look at the record here. I've only been at, 80 nights in hotels this year from this company, and, I've never had this issue. I've never had to go through such extraneous methods before I check in to check on the pool. If it's a pool, it's open, there's certain reasonable expectations. Even if it was just 10 to 4, I still have a hard time with that, because, 10? Like, I don't know. And the gentleman that was sitting next to me in the lounge, his complaint was like, look, I got kids, we're going to Disneyland, and we come back, we just want to chill, and, kids still have energy, it's like, what do they do, right? So anyway, but I'm kind of circling around. I haven't had enough caffeine this morning. Coffee tastes like shit. So I'm going to go get a can of coffee out of, well, they don't even have a vending machine. I'll have to go to the store, get another can of coffee. But finding that resolution, being happy with it, and focusing on it. And it kind of frustrated me that I had to be the one focusing on, hey, how do we resolve this and move on? Because it's that resolve and move on that puts everything in, behind you. Tosses out the back and it's gone. Don't deal with it. The other thing that was funny that happened is when I was sitting there talking to him, you know, I tend, and a lot of people won't believe this, but I tend to forget the negative stuff really easily. So I don't forget it, but it slips into like the deep storage, right? Um, so I was sitting there talking to him and he starts bringing up all these things. And then all the little negative experiences from my last stay here kind of popped up because I kind of had it in my mind, like, are you sure you want to stay there? Are you sure you want to stay there? And I'm looking at the pool on the Instagram and I'm like, yeah, I really want to go hang out at the pool, especially after Thailand. I had such a great time just like chilling at the pool. Um, you know, so, but sitting there talking to him, all those little negative things popped up. And then when I tried to drill down on like the pool rules and the pool this, like I couldn't even get a straight answer from, you know, and finally I found a sheet of paper, and even the sheet of paper wasn't clear and forthcoming. You know, it had that ambiguity to it that frustrated me. But that was my solution. That's my answer. I'm going to check out in a few hours and seek life elsewhere. But not everything goes wonderfully every day. And the key for me is to find a solution I'm going to be happy with, do as little as possible as I need to get to that solution. Because if I'm spending a lot of energy and time and, you know, having to fight for that solution, then one, I didn't pick a reasonable solution, and two, it's going to affect me a lot longer. And to me, you know, if you stayed around, you know, hopefully that little nugget is, you know, a good reinforcement for what you already know, and a good, you know, reminder that, you know, what you know does work. But yeah, finding my reasonable solution and doing the bare minimum, and then constantly ask, you know, I had to constantly go, is this, I put an ask out there, you know, are we at yes yet? Are we at yes yet? And kind of think about it like bargaining, you know, where you've got a handful of coins and you put a coin on the table. Is that good enough? No. 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 Because, I mean, there's even, you know, a half dozen other things I haven't even touched on in this video that I wasn't pleased with this hotel. And again, it's not my job to fix it. You know, I'm not getting paid to go around and fix hotels. So I'm not going to spend my time or effort, you know, arguing with somebody who doesn't want my opinion. It's just not, you know, why would I do that? You know, and if, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, so find a solution that's reasonable, spend as little effort and time and energy. And that was what was funny, is even after, you know, they said yes, they wanted to keep me there while they're chatting back and forth and they're like, you know, talking, and I was like, okay, can I go now? Because, you know, I don't want to be sitting here, right? This is, and that's an important thing, I think, for customer service is, you know, understanding when, you know, you're having a discussion, time is the most valuable thing in that discussion. And if you're taking someone's time, you know, why? Are you spending their time efficiently? Are you spending their time, you know, judiciously? I think that's the right word, judiciously. Are you being aware? Are you being concerned? Are you being respectful of their time, even when they're making complaints? You know, I think that's a really key thing. And, you know, I try to, when I have an issue, you know, I try to go into it with a solution. I try to go into it with a, you know, an ideal outcome and throw that on the table as soon as possible. But yeah, you know, and like I said, I'm just regurgitating myself, so I'll cut this off. But, you know, when you have a problem, you have an issue, you know, either just chalk it up and let it go immediately, just dismiss it, or figure out what it's going to take to resolve it. Be reasonable, because, you know, if you ask for 30 things and you get one, you're not happy. If you ask for one and you get it, you're happy. And so I found, you know, and I was this way as a kid, you know, but be reasonable in the ask. You know, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Is that ask reasonable? And then, you know, make your case for it. Make your case and say, you know, and that's what I did. I made my case about the pool, and I'm like, you know, look, you know, I booked with this expectation, and I think that expectation was reasonable given the advertising you're doing. And I come here and it's not reality. So, you know, I want to go. I want to go. And that was a reasonable ask. It just took me a while of constantly, what about this ask? What about this? What about this? What about this? Can you do 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 this? Yeah, you've seen how my night went. And finally, you know, we got the yes, and I'm like, okay, thank you. And then they want to keep, it's like, can I go? Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, are we done? Can I go? And then, oh, yeah, okay. So, and I don't mean to be disparaging to anybody in this video. I'm just telling you my perception of what happened. And the important part is for me to relay to other people, when you're having that hard time, step back, look at it objectively, find a solution that's reasonable for all parties, and push forward. You know, and if you want to be that guy who always gets the best of every deal, good on you. I want to be that guy who walks away happy and quickly. That's my whole goal. How to walk away happy and quickly. And I think I just found the title of this video. So get your passport, get out, use it, and have a great day. Thanks.